Can you type it?
I could, but that would, yeah, it's not to you, it's to JJ. So,
Is there a way that you could code it in a way that only JJ would get?
um, I have never seen this particular yes so present in you, JJ.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Can you maintain your seat in it, JJ? Or do you get swept away?
Most of the time I am in my seat. Not always.
That's not what I asked.
I do ask myself that every day.
When you're in that particular yes, do you get swept away? Or can you maintain your seat average type?
Average type.
It looks like a very unique yes. It's not like you're saying yeah.
Mhm.
It's not like you're saying yes to, would you pass the pepper? Why, yes, I'll pass you the pepper.
It's more like I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's that the quality of soft friction looks really good on you.
Hmm.
Soft friction. What are the signifiers?
Look at her head. Oh, she's offering her neck.
Hmm.
She could just have a crick in her neck. Yeah, there's that. That's soft friction right there. What she's doing.
I feel so delightful when you track me, Cray,
Why?
because it makes me feel so naked and so seen.
May I?
Yes, you may.
Somebody wants to track you.
Hmm.
You're big enough, important enough, shiny enough, whatever it is, whatever that value is, that you're noticing that somebody's not just glancing by you. You're now in the foreground. And it feels good to be in somebody's foreground because they're choosing that. They're looking at you and they're saying, you, out of all the rest of that stuff there, I want in the foreground.
Yeah, you got it just right. And it feels painful to admit.
Why? Why doesn't she like that? You as an adult should really enjoy the approaching of a connoisseur.
Well, I do.
Okay. Cuddle. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, we're gonna cuddle on the shallow end. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested in how to expand the offerings in ways that are legible to people.
Not until she's good at doing shallow end. Are we going any further? That's my desire. If she's
You're implying she's not.
so if you want me to pay attention to Alton, JJ, turn it down, okay?
I'm asking questions on her behalf for her.
No, yeah, great. Yeah, like those are the questions I want to answer.
What questions do you want to answer, Gray?
Her questions, not your interpretation of them. I don't think you speak her level of growl. And so you're gonna hear her growling, and you're gonna translate into meow, 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 meow.
Don't let him bully you.
I'm not bullying him. I'm trying to point him at something. See, now you're doing it for him. It's disgusting.
Imagining crazy modeling more what he does want.
JJ, why would you ever want to be with a man who you have to say, don't let him bully you? Why? That shows that you have a desire to hurt him.
Hmm.
Yes. See, he doesn't know what's going on. I don't think he knows what's going on. He might, but you do. Yeah, that right there. Yeah. Oh. Now, how do you translate that, man?
How about instead of translating that, I try something else?
Oh, are you afraid of a little challenge?
Um,
Okay,
no,
that's
I
fine.
think a bigger challenge might be more interesting.
Okay. What would you like to do instead?
You know the meta thing.
So
No.
this is level 2, JJ. This is level 2.
Thing between the words.
Drag it on now.
Do you meet me in the growl?
Live stream is a very different context.
Yeah, so notice the stiffness. So he's asking you back off.
Mm-hmm.
So you as the facilitator will go, okay.
Continue backing up. Man, back.
Alton,
Expressions.
Alton, turn off the video and turn off the sound and follow her instructions. And when you're done, come back. There will be a haze left.
A haze.
There'll be an aftertaste, I think.
Saying a
Afterglow, how about that? Is that better? Yeah. Yeah. Don't let them see the teeth. Oh, yeah. So now I'm stuck with Firefly's AI Note, Alton's Fathom, whatever the hell that means, and Shadow. Yay. Guess I'm going to go watch some YouTube videos. Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land. If you're watching and you have a question for the grumpy old man, by all means, type it in there. Use a pseudonym so they don't know who you are, because you wouldn't want a real question to be associated with you. And if those of you who prefer a less combative thing, you can check out Sean King, S-E-A-N. Oh, S-E-A-N. Last name King, K-I-N-G. He's on Facebook, and he and I did a 1-hour conversation today, which had no nasty bits. Oh God. Talk about my thoughts about the Sean interview today. God, nothing like old friends to put your testicles in the fire. It's really nice talking with Sean because he's really interested in the ideas and the concepts and stuff, and so there's not a lot of stickiness about it. It's much more philosophical, talking about philosophy or orientations and stuff. Yeah. I mean, he and I don't see eye to eye in a lot of things, but the use of logic. Yeah. Oh, they're back.
That was a good point.
Yeah.
Thanks, Craig.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get him used to moving his body more. Can you speak, Alton?
I'm imagining what you're looking for. And there's a texture of aliveness that I experience in connection with you right now. That wasn't there before.
Okay, so you could be saying anything about anything. So try to nuance it so that me and the audience get a little bit more taste of the flavor of it, or the texture of it, or the electrical.
The way that you're leaning forward, I imagine, is like inspecting or admiring your handiwork. And I'm imagining what you're looking for. What
How
is
do you
it?
feel about being handiwork? She loves it.
I enjoy having my behavior sculpted by those I respect. I respect you a lot.
Okay, so just to be clear, it's not being sculpted; it's being danced with. Sculpting has a locked in feeling to it. All I'm doing is I'm pointing you at things. How you take them on, how you breathe life into them, that's up to you. I can suggest a dance with JJ that has something come up in you, and that's gorgeous in and of itself. But what do you do with it? That's the excruciating thing. Is like watching somebody trying to bring it into form.
Excruciating.
Yeah, because it's like that this can get weird. It's like that 5 seconds before you actually come.
Excruciating.
Yeah. Breathe, JJ.
All encompassing.
So those of you who are watching and you haven't been cuddled by JJ, you're missing out. I don't care what your orientation is or what your pluses or minuses are. Anyhow, you know how a cat's tongue has little like spikes on it?
Mhm.
That's like JJ's whole being. You can rub it one way and it's so smooth, and if you go back the other way, there's like little points and barbs into you, which is kind of fun.
Wow.
Really curious, JJ.
How do you name and how do you use vocabulary around the tracking? Like, how do you describe that part of what you do?
Romantic.
Oh, I love seeing the smile
Poetically.
on you.
Why is that smile there? I dare you.
Hmm. Do you enjoy seeing me like this?
Because of the way I smell, she says.
Hmm. Does that does sound more poetic?
Yeah, and it looks like it lands a lot better.
It does.
So, can I let you in on a really weird little secret? You and all the 5 million people watching? It's the stories you tell. I look at JJ and I tell a story that she's amazing, that she's multi-talented, that she has, you know, cat tongue teeth all over her body, all over her being. And you have to be really careful because it doesn't stay in one place. It moves around. And so you have to be paying a lot of attention because what was smooth 5 minutes ago is now sharper than hell. Yeah. So these are all stories I tell myself about being with her. And so this is the kind of stuff that comes out. Because these are the things that I believe about JJ.
And those are the ways that you evoke what you want to see.
Yeah, but it's like I could try evoking you into being, a crypt from LA, a hood guy. And I could try to evoke that all day long. And I don't think it's gonna work.
So it's like you find the stories that you know
I
are
think.
gonna tickle me.
Yep.
And you call me forth in
I
them.
I through them probably. Because as you're moving through them, you're picking up flavors.
Mm-hmm.
You're being marinated in them.
Mm.
And because you're sitting back here and I'm saying blah 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 blah, and for you to engage with that, you have to move through it, and it's like you're moving through a field that changes you, that puts a bit of flavor on you.
Mm.
If I
Like
call, if I,
you're
yeah,
seasoning me.
yes,
Mm.
it's like I can call Alton a pirate, and if I do it right, he that you can see the flavor changes. He's busy typing now. The pirates don't type. So.
We'll have more gym equipment joining soon. And what I heard so far is on trying on salient stories that will likely tickle them, and you lob them, you
How
peck
many
them with the
different
stick.
ways do you think JJ can be tickled? Where she's
Outbursts of
at
pain.
right now, what do you think is going to have her growl the loudest? What kind of tickling? Do you think like doing this? Maybe tickling her ribs? Do you think that's going to get the growl you want? If you want to growl.
Like you mentioned, speaking to her largeness and how multi-talented she is.
Yeah, that's the meta. The tickle though, the tickle. We're not talking tickling, we're talking tickling. Or if you want, tickling.
How do you stroke to bring forth the most aliveness?
Not how. First thing is what.
Hmm.
I can tickle your intellect. And I bet you'll cool down quite a bit. Yeah. Tickle you about power dynamics, about teeth, about people willingly offering you their life's blood. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a much different form of tickling.
Hmm.
You're willing to offer some scaffolding on this.
Yeah.
When you see JJ, there's a certain undertone or signifiers in her smile
Yes.
that lands on your palate. And
Yes.
you
There's a couple things. It's her necklace is off center. Okay. And she's got that there is the smile, and she's being really quiet on the outside, but not on the inside. You know, there's sort of um please pay attention to this polite smile, and if you look, it's being held. It's not coming and going like most facial things. So you're looking. You okay? Do I
Yeah,
need to slow down?
you might.
Any other questions?
And how do you put words to that?
Practice. If she, see, the person who was here before, none of this would land.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of prep work. She's done a lot of there are a lot of different parts of me, and they're all welcome at the table.
I see.
And so it's
When you say practice, I notice a desire to do that right here, right now.
don't do it. Don't. So you got to be clear. He has spent his lifetime becoming a neutral networker. And so if you're looking to set him on fire, you probably don't want to do it on a Facebook live feed the first time out. I would imagine that in less than 4 or 5 months, he's going to want people to see that. But in this moment, no, I wouldn't do it. You can try. I mean, the worst thing to do is you're going to have a pile of greasy ash there. And yeah, there you go. He absolutely knows that you're looking at him. He absolutely knows that your teeth are itching to get a piece of him. He knows that you're wanting a heavy impact from me. And he's stuttering because he doesn't have the language. He doesn't have the skill set. He would never, ever think about reaching over with his index finger and straightening out that necklace of yours. Never in a million years would he think about that.
Until now.
You didn't think of it, I did. So watch, Alton, index finger, put it like right here and just press downwards, straightening out the necklace until it's straight, and then take your finger back. One finger only. It's the downwards pressure. And what you want to imagine is what she's going to experience as that necklace traverses her skin. Yeah, right there. Right there. She's going to feel that necklace dragging across her skin because you're pulling it down, centering it for her.
Right? I'm just taking a lot to constitute myself as a character that will just straighten people's.
No, don't go meta on it. Look at her. That I am the person that will touch her and straighten out her necklace. And if she passes out, I'll catch her. Pretend it's me then. Good God.
Oh, okay. So that's not how much easier.
It's just a necklace. Do you understand the mechanics of it, Alton?
Yes, it's really important to me. There's a certain come from in my life.
No, don't. You're just wilbeasting this one. All you're trying to do is just prove that you can do it without making it 90 minutes long.
That's what it takes, and
Stop.
I'm taking the
Stop.
instructions.
Just point your finger. Point your finger, Alton. Your right hand. Point your finger.
Yeah.
One finger.
Yep.
One. No, the index finger.
Yeah. Okay.
Index. This one. Yes, this one. Place it on her chest above the necklace.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Now put the meat of your. Look at her. Let that in, Alton. Let that in. Put the meat of your finger on her, the pad of your index finger. Now pull it down, keeping contact. Do it slowly. Let it hit the chain. You have to keep contact with it. So, yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at her. Keep going all the way. If you have to go down further till it gets centered, then there you go. Now, because it's on the outside, take it and tuck it in. Take the dangly bit and gently tuck it into her bodice. See, now you're trying to get, now. Okay. Tuck it in, not drop it. And look her in the eye. You okay, JJ? Notice where your hand ended up, Alton. Notice what your thumb is doing. It's okay. Now, so if you're going to break it, do it completely. Do it completely. Turn away. Turn back towards the camera. Take your hand off of her. Take your hand off. She can do whatever she wants with her hand. The thing, Alton, is that you want it to have a container. You don't want it to trail off. You want to do it, look at her, give her that look that you understand that was a hell of a necklace straightening for her. And then you want to get back to what you were doing. Yes, JJ?
To do a thing.
I can go watch a Zoom video if you want. A YouTube video.
Someone just arrived. So there was someone here.
Huh. Oh, it's okay. They're polite.
All good.
JJ. JJ, put her in the middle, you idiot.
Okay. Okay. Not happening.
Why not?
I'm happy here.
Oh, you're happy everywhere.
Not true, but I'm happy here.
What can I do for you, ma'am?
I was just gonna listen in.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that okay? I can listen.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's horrible.
I desire to use you as gym equipment for
Answer her question. Be polite. She's a guest. She asked you a question. Answer the question before you go anywhere else.
She says she wants to listen in and that she can always go back.
Is that all right? She asked. And you look her in the eye and say, yes, whatever you'd like to do is totally okay. Once you meet her where she's at, then you can say, I was hoping to use you as gym equipment, you sexy beast, you. Or something like that. When you have a guest arrive,
what she just said, so
it's fine. Once you've got there, then you have playroom. Once you've met her where she's at.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, go on.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome to listen.
Okay. That sounds like there was another thing you wanted to ask.
And I have an interest in using you as gym equipment for this work.
I was not briefed on what the work is, so I'm not quite sure what I'm agreeing to. I know I'm very comfortable saying no on the spot, so I'm game to whatever you have in mind, you're welcome to start, but know that I could change my mind, and if I decide a no, it will come. Does that feel okay?
All right.
Okay. Or JJ can brief me in the hall and I can give a more informed answer if that feels better. You could also brief right now.
Kwan, he's not very good at it. Kwan, are you corporate?
In this moment?
No, not in this moment. In your the larger part of your life, do you operate in corporate environments?
I haven't for a while now. Why do you ask?
You strike me as someone who has been in the corporate world and left for reasons that are probably better not talked about on the live feed. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Your language is very precise.
Yeah, I guess I try to tell people what they need to know.
Ooh, Jesus. As do you top much?
Generally in life, yeah.
Yeah, yep. Does and tell me to use your no whenever you want. Does that extend into your intimate world?
Yeah.
And are you satisfied with the way that's going? Or would you want to explore other possibilities?
I'm open to exploring other opportunities, not right now with you.
Okay. Well, you just did.
Okay. Is this what you meant, Elton, when you were saying using me as gym equipment? Is this gym equipment right now? I don't know what that meant, so I was just curious.
Before me to do lifts with your way of being
Mhm.
is confronting for some parts of my character. And I intended to request from Quay coaching on how I can be more skillfully in connection with the parts of you I'm having me be that I don't accept as fully.
So him telling you that he's intimidated by you would be a way of using you to get a lift. Because I don't think that he very often admits to a power differential with feminines that is not sensual or sexual or emotional. He's quite okay with admitting to those. But to be intimidated by somebody just by their raw power, especially if they're a feminine, I think is unusual for him. This is all me. I'm just making this
Yeah, I
up
was like,
as
am I missing context? I didn't
I'm
nor
making
did the
this
word
all up.
intimidation come up.
That would be an example of a lift that if I took on that by Craig's coaching, if he told me to take that on,
Mhm.
that would be a lift for me to have you be that for me.
Sure, I'm happy to receive commentary. Doesn't that feels fine?
What the?
So should I look at you and not the screen?
Uh-oh, now you're losing your topness. Why are you asking them for instructions?
Because I agreed to help them do a thing and I am asking how they would like to be helped. Seems sensible enough.
Hmm. So Alton, when you look at those two, what's the difference?
Experience JJ's purring or humming, and
What's
experience
the difference in you?
what's the difference in me.
Juan's humming too, by the way.
That's a stretch for me to.
Yeah, I know. You don't know this one.
What
So
is happening in this context?
Do you know Da Tian?
No.
Um, lower belly, energetic activation, gearing up.
Okay, sounds like a longer conversation. Y'all go ahead. I'll catch myself up later.
Yeah. I can't tell if it's it looks like Predator from over here. So, anyhow. This is why you really got to brief them first or get JJ to brief them. Sorry, Kwan.
This is part of it to me.
Yeah, I know that it's for you, but not for them.
I also self-admittedly don't experience myself as very good at briefing them, and
That's why you might want to ask JJ. Is there something in your agreement to dance with these two? Is there flavor or direction that you would prefer, Juan?
No, I don't know the space well enough to have preferences.
It's not
thought
about
I was gonna come sit and watch a thing for a bit was
Okay,
my
fine.
impression.
Then-
I am open to increasing the scope, but I don't know how to specify what that.
Okay, so why don't we, Alton, can you tilt the camera so it's just you and JJ, and we'll let her watch for a while.
I mean, why not just jump into, or like just not have to context anything
Because
else? Jump
this
into
is
it
the
with Juan.
second or third time that she said this. So I'm trying to meet her where she's at. Her understanding is that she was going to watch. So I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Well, she said she's open to increasing the scope when she just wasn't clear on it. So I could just learn by doing it with her. You see something.
Yeah, I agreed, and then I turned my body to look at Alton and ask what the next step of agreeing is, and you interrupted and had opinions about me losing my power. Like we were about to start a thing, so like I'm
Okay.
still game to like start that.
Okay. Start away.
I don't know what it is. I need you to take lead, but here I am. I exist until I decide
Yeah,
I don't, and
perfect.
then I won't.
Great. So that's so clear.
Okay.
Okay, so Craig, I have a request for you. I
Yep.
would like support on how I can have Quan's way of being trigger me less. When
You have to
she
own
talks
what it
more than
is.
like 3 sentences, I notice I get annoyed or dysregulated, and I start making stories about how she has different value sets than I do that I find frustrating.
Yes. What are those value sets, do you suppose?
I have stories about attunement and tracking my conversation partner in real time as I'm speaking.
She's doing that. She's doing that.
Sure. I story that she either doesn't have the awareness of it or the interest in updating it, or she's planning to steamroll them and is not present to the power she does or does not have, at least with me, along certain dimensions.
See, I'm much more protective of her than you are. Like, I would want to hear what your prejudicial stuff is in the way that she shows up.
Mhm.
But I'm not interested in her. See, now you're much more comfortable with that. You're
Yes.
like Rosemary walks in and you just light up because she fits the structure that your character is like, I like these. These are things that I know how to dance with and that bring me pleasure. And you look at Quan and you're like, not getting any pleasure out of that.
Well,
And I am.
I enjoy being irritated by people who I make up just have different value structures, but I would prefer to also not be just irritated by her.
Then change. I don't understand.
That's what I'm asking. Like, how can I more skillfully do that in a way that's?
Imagine you're straightening her chain.
I would imagine that would earn more of her ire or
I
frustration.
know, but imagine, look at her and imagine that somehow you've set it up. She's going to stay exactly looking like the way she is, but your story is that you're straightening her chain is going to impact her in the same way that it impacted JJ. She's just not used to showing that. Now, granted, if you tried to do that, I would expect her to break your hand, your fingers.
Mm-hmm. That's loosely my model as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you're saying to imagine that.
Yeah.
As a
Imagine. Yeah. Imagine. Let your body experience what it experienced with JJ.
I'm having a very crude model of like imagining someone fantasizing.
I don't care. Don't say
You're
it.
not asking him to delude himself?
Are you asking a bigot to delude himself into not being a bigot? Are you asking a misogynist to delude themselves by entertaining the idea that the woman they're in front of is not a thing to be hated.
That's not fair. He
Life
just
is not fair.
He just told you about a raw experience, and you just used really intensely loaded language that leaves
Yes.
not a lot of room to like have his experience be okay.
Why would I want him to have his bigoted experience to be okay? I don't want him to have that bigoted experience when a woman like you walks into the room. I think that
Shaming people is not a helpful way to induce
change.
change.
You would be surprised, my dear. You would be. I understand it's not politically correct, but for Asian cultures, it's really effective.
Hey,
Effective
don't mind
towards what end?
me and don't talk to me about Asian cultures. Whoa.
Why not? Why not?
Hold your phone.
What? I was raised in Southeast Asia. I have a right. Oh, wait a minute. White people can't be Asian? Can't be informed about Asian stereotypes? How bigoted of you.
Oh, now we're gonna call me bigoted.
Yeah, of course. Why not? We're all bigoted. I'm okay with being bigoted. The end, Rosemary, is that I want Alton, me personally, my personal preference, I don't give a shit what he thinks about it. I want him to be able to interact with all kinds of things that used to trigger his ass off, that he can actually be open to the human being that's standing there rather than his projections. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get Alton to look at Quan, acknowledge his projections, acknowledge his bigotry, and see if he can put them aside. Now, I don't think his bigotries are going to allow him to feel what he felt with JJ. Quan does not fit that. And I'm saying do it anyway. Practice being open. Practice being compassionate. Practice being aroused with somebody that your culture tells you is a no. Practice being a human being interacting with another human being rather than what your history is telling you is there. Maybe Quan, if she wasn't, I mean, this is me being stereotypical, if she wasn't treated as a ball buster, she might act differently. Who knows? What's going on?
What would motivate her to not have that be as high appetite for her?
To have some carrots out there. God, I wonder what that might be. I'm sorry, Quan. I look at you and I'm just turned off and I feel all tight and miserable and that's really a carrot, man. That's just a great way to get somebody to step out of their character by telling them how awful you think their character is.
Okay, well, that sounds like a different conversation. I
No,
was
it's
asking
not. It's
questions.
exactly the same question. It's actually the same thing.
Okay.
How do you invite Quan into something other than her character? It's hard. It's difficult to get people to do this. Quan is like, I mean, forgive me, Quan. I'm projecting my ass off. I don't know you. This is total projection. This is an opinion. It's a made up story. Right? Quan took a lot of heat to become the thing that she is. Right? And she believes that this is who she is. Because if something costs you a lot, then you tend to reinforce it. Buyer's remorse and buyer's, whatever the other one is.
Post-purchase rationalization, yeah.
Yes. And so Quan, JJ, Alton, Cray, we all were taught to be invested in our characters because they're real. And to invite somebody into a different thing. And it's easiest to see with pedophiles, with all the nasty people out there, and you're saying what you're doing is hurting people, and they're like, I'm okay with that. And it's like, can you step out of your self-identification with that value system? Well, no, that would be inauthentic. And it's like, it's a character. You were taught these values. They're not real. But the authentic relators are saying, no, these are mine. And I'm like, fine. Go out there, go off to Israel and see what people who are invested in their characters are doing to each other. When I first met JJ, I couldn't tickle her that way. She was like, who the fuck do you think you are, you fat old man, you fat old bearded masculine asshole?
And then what happened?
I was persistent. I was very patient. I met her where she was at. She learned that even though I fit the pixels, that I wasn't acting that way much.
What percent of the way do you think Juan or Dakota are on the way towards that?
Everybody's on the way, but I don't.
How much? Like what amount? Percent?
This is my bigotry again. If I look at Quan, I look at the plateness of her armor. Okay, the way that she sits, it's not like chainmail. It's like it's solid, plates of steel and whatever. I imagine it wouldn't take much because the chainmail will bend and move with you. If somebody can put a finger on her pulse and she can experience that as something other than a trauma or a threat response, it might be really easy for her to say, oh, this is a special place. I'm taking this stuff off. This stuff serves me really, really well in most of the places that I'm at. But right now, right here in this special place, I can let people feel my flesh. I can feel the touch of another person, metaphorically speaking. Are you just going to listen, Dakota?
I am absorbing. I'm really engaged in what's happening with Quan, and so I'm just kind of like flying on the wall a little bit.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Shut up then. You're ruining your role then, because
Yeah,
flies
let me
on
step
walls
back into
don't
my
talk.
role.
Yes, but can you please change that picture? Really?
Every single time I have a different photo, you want it to be
I know,
different.
but look at those pixels, Dakota.
I can't give you what you want.
You're a liar. You're an absolute frickin' liar. You are why lie? I mean, if you're gonna lie, be creative.
Too much energy.
No, I'm sorry, Cray. I did that once 15 years ago, and like my mother said, it froze. That's the only picture that ever comes up. How's the
Good to
baby,
see you,
Rosemary?
I think I'm really interested in like what would have Quan buy in. Like I don't want you to be different, but I'm interested in like what would be required in order for you to try on this framework.
So, Dakota, am I the nice? Let me help you. Let's spend 3 years doing the introductions.
No,
I'm not that guy, right?
no.
It looks to me like Quan. I believe that she jumps. Okay. I believe that if she figures out that she can do it and do it right, she's willing to do insane jumps. But I don't think this is a jump that's going to get her to where she could be. I think that it's a slow thing. That's my opinion.
I'm also wondering what it feels like to be talked about.
Wait, are you just throwing your whole role out the window?
I'm shifting.
You're shifty. So why does Dakota like being tickled like this? Is there anything I can do, Quan, or have I just fucked it up terribly?
Do towards what end?
I would like to see what you look like without armor on.
You can ask JJ.
I believe that JJ has felt what you feel like without armor on. I don't know if she's seen you, but that would be for JJ to elucidate on.
What's the difference between seeing and feeling? Is it whether it's with me or somebody else?
No. If you're doing a cuddle thing with her, okay, I am fairly certain that you can feel when the armor leaves or mostly leaves or whatever. But to see her would be to see her moving or taking action, or you would see the embodiment of it. Does that make sense? Am I making
Yes,
sense?
I do see that.
Yes. So can you see her under the armor right now?
I'm noticing.
You're feeling right now. You're not. You know, that little thing she's doing right there, that little animated smile on the lift of her eyebrows, I think that's her. Yeah, that right there, right there. When she sees now, I don't know what it is, but she's like, oh, it's okay to be seen by JJ. Now, unfortunately, there's another part of her mind saying, JJ is not the only one in the room, you idiot. Yeah. What are you smiling like the Madonna for, Rosemary?
I feel the love that's moving towards Quan.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it feels nice to be in this configuration of people. It's like a very beautiful fractal right now.
Is there anything non-intellectual happening to you right now, or?
Yeah, I feel love and fear.
How do you know?
I've felt those things a lot.
Oh, okay.
I am, of all things, there's two things I'm most interested in being with in this space, and one of them, Quan, is being with you in, I don't know, your armor, maybe.
What is it that you find so attractive about her?
I'm curious about
What
you.
is it that you find so attractive about her?
I like your defensiveness. I think it's
You think it's defensiveness. Good. Okay.
okay. I like that you have not taken the bait. That you have stayed in your on your own 2 feet. That you I'm talking to you, Quan. Just yeah. I appreciate the things that I've seen about you in the 10 minutes that I've been in connection with you, or at least been witness to you.
Does that awaken anything in you? Her abilities? It looks like you're saying those are really clumsy efforts to knock you off your feet, Quan. I could do it in like 30 seconds.
I wouldn't do that.
Could you, though?
I feel
That's a yes.
uninterested in doing that.
Okay, I'm not saying whether you're interested. I'm just saying, do you have the skill sets? Do you believe that you could knock her off her feet
I think
out of her armor in 30 seconds?
you can't sustainably knock someone out of their armor.
I'm not asking about sustainably. I believe that you know exactly how to hit that jolt, that
And
for 30 seconds, the armor is going to disappear.
What I've learned is that you have to move at the speed of your slowest parts and welcome people to take their own armor off.
Yep, that is definitely one way of doing it.
And you can also model what it looks like to be vulnerable.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm not interested. I'm interested in people taking it off because they want to, rather than because they've been shown that this is a safe place to do it. I think it's much more entertaining when you do it because you want to, not because it's a safe place.
I think we're on the same page.
Really?
Yeah, I want a space that's sexy. I want people to want to be naked.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be a safe place. I want there to be an edge to it.
Definitely a brave space. Definitely a brave space. And it like true spaces cannot protect you from the truth.
Ever been to a Nazi rally?
No, it's before my time.
Yeah, oh no, they're still here. They're still here. You can hide the truth in the space. Alton's doing a very good job of it.
We all are. We all are doing an excellent job of hiding.
And is that satisfying for you, Rosemary?
I respect people's hiding places.
I'm not talking about anybody else but you. Is this the way that you're hiding right now in this space? That's okay for you, that you're fine with that. Okay, great. No edge work with Rosemary. Be nice to her.
No, you're misunderstanding me.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did I misunderstand?
My mission.
Your mission.
Rosemary,
Oh no.
Can I interrupt to ask you something?
Please ask me things. I want to interact with you.
How did the I'm sorry he just gave land for you?
Can you give me the transcript of what he said?
I think it was just approximately I'm sorry, but in a tone where if he'd said it to me, I would not have taken it.
He often says things to me like Rosemary. Like he's trying to I don't know.
Yo, you're such a liar. You don't know.
I'm trying to find the right words.
Yeah, the right words. The polite words?
Poke me in the ribs or something.
Poke you in the where?
In the ribs.
Ribs. Oh, yes. That's what I'm going for. Ribs. I'm a rib kind of guy.
So how does it feel to be?
Yeah, I'm sorry to me felt very disingenuous to the point of maybe even sarcastic. And I would not be okay with somebody saying words that sound nice in a tone that definitely didn't mean it. And I couldn't tell if like what your relationship to like letting that slide was.
I feel like you and I could destroy this space if we wanted to, Quan.
I don't
know
what that means.
Destroy everyone in this space. But I thought about it. I've thought about doing that, but I decided.
Give it your best shot, girlfriend.
I decided that it wasn't in the best interest of all of our
Rosemary,
missions.
I'm going to interrupt you. I have such a strong desire for you to be angry. Like my
She's
experience.
not angry. Oh, for God's sakes. You think that she's hiding anger? She's hiding arousal. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
really touched by that.
That's where your arousal lives. Yeah, in your chest. Yeah.
Yeah, I am a very angry, fearful, sexual being.
Yeah. Yeah, fine. I don't care. It's just my stories. I'm not claiming that you are what I think you are. I enjoy the thought of that you're not angry at all, that you're aroused, but you have no way of dealing with it. And you're like, Jesus, this makes no sense to me, but it's here. And it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I'm like, well, welcome. You're now in a place and you're having feelings that your primal character has no way of dealing with. So you're at the edge of something new. Now you can shove it back down underneath the carpet, or you can step into being something new. Alton put his finger on SJ's chest and drew a line down. Now for you, Rosemary, that may be a no thing. But for him, it was something huge. And he's willing to step into a place that is not his norm. And just for the shit of it, as an acting moment, do something different. But for God's sakes, hold on to your authenticity. Hold on to your bigotries, the way that you see the world, and reinforce them. And model that for everybody else out there who's doing the same thing. I believe the world is this way, and don't you try to change my mind or make me do something, think something different. And
Dakota, I'd be happy to show you my anger in another room.
I need to sit with that for a second, if that's actually what I want.
Oh.
And you have to sit with it?
What I want may be more calculated than that.
It might be, yeah, possibly, perhaps, maybe. Everybody's pushing all of their bets onto the side of the table that, yes, it's more calculating. Yes. Anyhow, I like my stories. They keep me entertained.
How can we each have better story generators? If they were like 10% better story generators, in your opinion?
What's better mean?
Well, that's up to you. I mean, it's your creative artist's choice. You
Yes.
have stories of each of us and
Yeah.
the things that we're oriented towards in life.
Dakota,
There are
I'm
ways.
into room 1.
Okay.
Would you be willing to out some of the stories that you have about our stories about the world, so we're more aware of that?
It's just my stories about your stories. Come on.
All right, I want to know so I can templatize that for my own capacity.
What are
So
your
that-
stories about Kwan? She's a human being. She was born with chromosomes that label her a female. Okay? That we understand that. She shows up in a way that triggers you. Right? That has nothing to do with her. It has everything to do with you. You can sit down with JJ and say, JJ, help me out here. I need to draw up some cartoony labels for Kwan so that I can start to investigate this.
Okay.
And you're gonna, whatever your bigoted, whatever they are, just be okay with the labels and then use them to explore. And you're like, well, yes, the way that she's showing up is surprise, surprise, just like my mother, who I hate. Oh, I can't say that. I can't say that. And so, so it's like, well, if she wasn't showing up as your mother, who would she be showing up as? What do you mean? She's a human being. She's had her tragedies. She's had her successes. She's sculpted herself into who she is with the help of her parents and whatever. Is this the her that you want to dance with? If it is, then fine, dance with her. If you look at her, I looked at JJ when she first showed up, and I'm like, I think there's something more here. That's my own personal prejudice. And she said, I am fine just the way I am, god damn it. Stop projecting all over me.
This is very different from my recollection of this, and
Who am I talking to
You're-
right now?
confabulating stories. Okay, I see JJ smiles, all the results we need.
Right. So who's more important? Your understanding or her smile? What do you think is more important to me?
Right. You keep running into it's not about truth frame that time.
Yep. They're all stories. If I can get that smile to ignite, if I can get that thing to ignite, maybe, just maybe, you'll pay attention to it. Maybe you'll pay attention to it. And then just maybe you might look at that and go, wow, that tastes amazing. You and I have been talking for years, Alton. You've been dancing with JJ for a month. You've changed more dancing with JJ than in years of talking to me. I can't cuddle you like she can. Okay? I can't do the things that trigger the carrots in you that she can. So you can sit here and say, and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to go, hi, JJ. Hi, JJ. And then maybe, just maybe, you'll look at that and go, that son of a bitch, I've never made her smile like that. I would love to know how to make her smile like that. Just maybe. In the meantime,
You entertain that part because that part, I mean,
it's what you're leading with.
And an alternative ways to evoke the sets of smiles that have been strewn throughout the stream with JJ.
Yep. A different way of interacting with Quan has also been presented.
Right. When JJ's not here, how do I orient towards what feedback loop was there to deepen this practice?
Quan's right there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So pretend that you're JJ, Alton. Think of the pleasure that she's had with Quan that is denied to you because of your bigotry. Oh, I got the nod of approval from JJ. That was good.
That was very salient.
Yeah, but you'll forget it. But so look at Quan and remember when she said, ask JJ. Imagine who you'd have to be for her to say, ask Alton. Your face is going to break. You smile any bigger, JJ. Right there. Now she's back up again. Juan, I believe you are much more like JJ than you're like Alton.
I don't know what dimension you're pointing along.
The
Like just
human,
generally, who am I more similar to?
the human part. I believe that you're soft. I believe that you're flexible. I believe that you're emotive. I think that you care a lot. I think that you actually want to be more embodied in a feminine way. I think you and Alton share some sort of fear, aversion, threat response to that. That's what Alton wants too. Yeah. Alton goes, yeah.
Is that surprising? I would assume that was that surprising for you when he said that?
How
That's what
Corey
you
said it?
wanted? Sorry?
How Corey said it? Yes. And
Huh.
the textures being overlapping with what I imagine he imagines both of us want for ourselves too.
Interesting. Okay. I would just generally assume that, like, knowing very little, I would assume one of the reasons you're drawn to JJ is she has those things when, like, we tend to be drawn to people who have, like, the things we want more of for ourselves. So that to me seemed like a non-surprising conclusion. So I'm just curious.
Don't listen too carefully, JJ. Yeah, that. Oh. I'm pointing out the fact that JJ is attracted to things that she'd rather not be attracted to.
Ouch.
Hmm.
We can cover later too.
You look really good with a beard, JJ.
I look really good with a beard.
Yes.
Are there any recommendations if I wanted to directly do dojo lifts with Quan, having or have no context of dojo?
Juan, would you be willing to cuddle Alton with JJ's help?
Not right now.
Well, no, not right now, but as a theoretical construct.
Yeah,
He's-
like let's be. I'm going to be very explicit since you seem to enjoy that. You're the one I feel least safe with here.
I
And
hope so.
Your presence is what's driving my guardedness.
Good.
So
You could just give it up.
I'm gonna
no, absolutely not.
Okay, fine. I don't care.
Like a lot more things are available on the table when I'm not spending a decent chunk of my decisions like managing like
Why don't you just let go of your bigotry? Just let it go.
because I've seen you do things that I consider really manipulative.
Absolutely.
And so I feel like I need to be on guard with you.
Okay. Let me know how that works for you.
Great. She's
What are you thinking?
I hear you sharing or revealing, and Gray, your response seems strategically dismissive.
I'm like, what could I actually? To me, she's talking about the moon being blue cheese. It's like I have to protect myself from you. I'm like, really? What do you have to protect? That you're going to be manipulative. I'm like, well, that's what people do. People manipulate. That's what they do. They try to make things happen. Right? So you're telling me that I'm doing the human thing by manipulating. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And she's saying, I have to protect myself from you. And I'm like, I'm on a Zoom call with you. I'm 3,000 miles away. What is the actual thing that you're protecting yourself against? But I don't want to get into that with her. And so I'm just like, okay, fine. I'll back off. Let's believe what our amygdalas
Why
are
don't you say-
telling us.
like-
Gotta protect ourselves from our ethnic minorities, bearded old white men. Yeah. Asians, you gotta protect ourselves from this. Asians, for God's sakes. Jesus. Women who wear black dresses.
Tamara's asking to share your thoughts about the interview with Sean today.
No, I already did that. That was hours ago.
Here, you want people not to cross promote as much.
What? I told everybody where you were gone.
To like cross promote other people's work. And
I told when you were gone, I told everybody in Facebook land to go check out that interview. If they think that I'm a bit too combative and I slap people with fish too much and they don't like this style, if they go look at Sean's video, they'll see another style of Cray.
Beautiful. Okay.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. A gift from Cynthia Kramer. Well, any other speed bump practices before we
I had nothing.
wrap today?
Oh, we're gonna wrap at 7:25. I get to go look at the stars. It's a clear night, no moon.
I appreciate your recommendation for the Light Dark Institute. That's been very confronting to own my hysteria.
Your hysteria.
Made wrong.
You okay, JJ?
Oh yeah, I was just reflecting on I really enjoy Alton stepping into his hysteric, taking space.
Uh-oh. Thought I was going home. Oh, it's Chris.
Hello. Yeah. You want to turn around?
Chris and another person. Yeah. Hi.
Leela.
Hello.
Oh, they're all three together. Are you on mute?
Hello, Chris Atteridge. What do you want? Hi, Rosemary.
Hi, team.
It's Cray, not team.
I'm talking.
Oh, you were speaking to everybody. Oh, okay.
Look at these happy, sunny people.
Mm-hmm. How was the anger, Dakota?
I liked getting to see more of Rosemary.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was very, it gave me more of what I was looking for.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Rosemary? How was it for you?
I noticed some dance moves that are still not fluent in me. And got some really good feedback on how to, like, what worked and what didn't work, and how to be more graceful in my invitation to more vulnerability.
Hmm. I'm glad.
What'd you say?
I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
What else is there?
No, my happiness for you, there's nothing more.
Oh,
Glad you have good information. Because good information is so very, very important.
I plan to do some reps and lifts in connection with JJ and Quan. Are there any things I can set us up for over the next
go
20 or so
cuddle with
minutes
them.
before I come back?
Oh, what?
Maybe in that direction.
Go cuddle.
I want to eat first. Spend a lot of glucose today, and I hear your invitation.
I can't cuddle. I spent a lot of glucose today. Jeez, okay, fine.
I'm
Fine.
grateful to not be in cuddle insecurity state, and I
Oh,
have
God.
my
Oh,
confidence
yes.
in being-
Make sure you only cuddle when it's safe.
Okay. Rosemary, Dakota, Chris, or Leela, if there's any specific frames you'd like to request of Cray, here's a fantastic window to do so, where I make up that. Again, I've consistently shared what I want to create for myself, my life, and then experienced things magically rising. Always
I think I may leave too.
Good. Hey, I can go early. Oh, I got Chris and Leela to deal with.
They've had quite a full window of time, and so I don't know how resourced they are, but if you guys want to take on the list directly with Cray, here we are.
I've been feeling into what Craig told me last week about being passive aggressively abusive and getting pleasure out of hurting people.
And
And I've been throwing the tennis ball more. Like, realized that it's actually selfish of me to want people to like me, and then you.
oh, God.
Uh-oh.
God damn it. It was just getting good. Oh, man. Life
Cray,
is
you seem
like
very
that.
alive today. I'm enjoying whatever the texture is.
I think I'm becoming less patient and more like, I mean, there's a flavor when people are doing something different. It's like your whole thing about putting I mean, just on the face of it, it's a very simple exercise. It's dot, 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 you know? But you were in another place to where it wasn't just mechanics. And so to me, that's an amazing place. But if people are staying in the place where they know what they know, God damn it, and I'm not willing to, try something different or take another stance, or authenticity is where it's at. I'm tired of dealing with people who believe that authenticity is the end all and the be all.
Yeah. I mean, you had like a cultural naming that, and you were able to.
Here we are. Our internet.
Hello again.
You should.
So we've been experiencing this thing. We experienced it today, where say we want
God damn it. Your phone sucks. Oh, Norman, thank you. Norman, please change that goddamn picture. Jesus. Good God, really?
I hate it too now.
Good.
It was the please take me seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd that work for you?
It's outdated.
Yeah. The belief system is outdated. Good. See, now what's the difference? What's the difference, Alton? Just close your eyes. Imagine, I can't even remember her name. The one that began with a B, the woman who was here. Was there a woman here named began with a B?
Quan, JJ, Leela,
No.
Rosemary.
Rosemary. What's the difference between the vibration of Rosemary and the vibration of Norman? Norman doesn't take himself seriously. He's not going to die on the cross of Norman. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. That sucks. Hello, Leela. You're back again. Now there's 3 of you or 4 of you.
Oh, turn yours off.
All right, thanks, Gal. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
We're back. We're
Yep.
closing the other one.
All right. Are you going to be able to get a complete sentence out?
Should.
Okay.
We switched phones.
So there's this experience of frustration after like half a day spent preparing to do something, like go on a trip, and we have to sort some things still, and then the trip doesn't happen because it doesn't work out with the plans, and then I have a feeling of frustration, like I kind of wasted my day around her rearranging things, and then she'll share that she felt like
Okay,
she was
wait a minute. Stop. There's a Zen story called Is That So? Find it, read it, print it out, tattoo it on your body somewhere. All right. In essence, a young pregnant girl in a village accuses the monk of being the one who's the father. And they say, you're going to have to take the baby. And he says, oh, is that so? He spends 3 years raising the child. The woman finally has a change of heart and says, it was the other guy, and we're getting married and we want our kid back. And the monk goes, is that so? So when you have a change of plans, get out of your ego about, I wanted it to go this way, and blah, 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 and say, wow, something else has opened up. I now get to go spend the afternoon with my sweetie eating gumdrops in the sun in California or wherever the hell it is. Just let go of it. If you have to, slap yourself and say, put that down. Put down blaming Leela for what I freely chose to do as a man. I chose this. I'm not a victim here. I may not like the changes, but you know what? One of the marks of a big man is that he can roll with circumstances. And practice being that man. And demonstrate to Leela that you're impacted, most definitely, but you're still right there. You have not been shaken to your core by circumstances. You're going to use this to rise to another level of being, I'm projecting here, being the man that she's chosen. Does that make sense? Well, now their second phone is giving up the ghost. It's just you and me, Norman.
Perfect time for freeze. Oh,
Come
purple.
on. Let me in. Come on, give me something.
I enjoyed myself before coming here.
Doing what?
Myself.
What? You can do other people?
I'm sick right now.
We all are sick right now. What's your...
Like I literally have to see a doctor.
Yeah. So
Meaning I can't with other people right now.
and
That
So that
means I can't.
Fucking A.
That's why I played with myself.
you played with yourself. I understand.
Come
Oh,
on.
come on, really? That's
Come
as
on.
you got? That you were fantasizing about chipmunks. That would have been fun.
Wait, you thought what?
You've been fantasizing about chipmunks direct in latex. That would have been interesting. But that you're doing what every person does every single day? No, that's not very interesting.
It was a
Did
little
you hear me? What? Oh, yeah, take another big bite of that chocolate candy bar of yours. Oh, you're so delicate.
I initially felt guilty because I was like, oh, I want to show up to dojo, but I was like, it's been a week overdue.
That's criminal. That's overdue. Yeah. So
Oh, he disappeared.
Shut up.
who does that?
What's he doing to you, Norman?
He's trying to get me to be more embodied and vulnerable. He says I have a Clark Kent that I hide
That
behind.
mean?
Like
A Superman. Superman is regular.
Oh,
like most of the time I'm invisible, but I want to be super, and I am super. Like I'm
oh,
stuck in the persona.
oh.
oh, now he's pulling out his chocolate bar. Good God.
It's
The
dead meat.
homoeroticism. Oh God. Oh,
Party.
great. Now it's a three-way. God.
Craig, I really like whatever you were saying.
It's an opportunity to step into something different. That's all.
Yeah. Feel that.
Leela, you chose well.
Really? I
It
know.
looks like it.
Thanks.
I'm definitely not referring to his physiology.
Yeah, I know.
That's surprising.
He's so modest too. Jesus.
I have a question.
Only one, you liar. What? Hurry up. Come on.
If I want to attract sweet masculines, is my energy pulling them in or repelling them?
How do they compete?
Definitely repelling.
Say
Like
more.
you would understand anything about this, Dakota. No, Norman, I don't understand why would they want to hang? To me, you're insanely sweet. Okay, you're like off the. You're pretty near 4 standard deviations. Masculines respond well in competition, but it has to be within a range. If it's too much, they'll back out. If it's too little, it won't be worth their time. So if you show up in life, like if you're trying to find sweet young things and you show up like this, you're going to be outside most people's range. So you can tone it down a bit. You can practice doing other things. Be the honey that that the sweet young things are after. Now there is that category of sweet young things who are looking for the big butch things.
But what if I like the older guys?
Yeah, well, step out of your bigotry.
What does that mean?
Why do you want sweet?
There's a convergence among my two recent partners, and I'm finding it to be really life-giving. Like, I love this.
You're telling me that you love something, and I'm asking you to define the nutritional content. I don't doubt that you love sweet, but I'm asking in your psychology, why is that nourishing for you, or why do you think it's nourishing for you? Is it there's a lack of conflict?
No, it's almost like a flavor of caring.
Okay. Why? What? So can you nuance the flavor of caring more? Like, what's the difference between the flavor of caring of a bear versus a sweet young thing?
I think the spicy answer is it feels like almost like familial. It feels
Yep.
like home with my parents. And the two recent partners did exhibit some of that type of like actual caring, like cutting fruit and things like that. And maybe that's the word, the signifier, I suppose, that I put on that set of stuff that they're doing. Sweet.
Right. So can bears do that? Can bears exhibit caring in the way that you're describing? Cutting fruit, la la la.
Probably not.
Why? That seems.
Am I thinking too literally of a bear in the wilds?
No, what's the old guys that, you know,
Oh, of
like
course. They
what the fuck? Are you just weird? Jesus. So you're caring in your intellect.
yeah.
Your care, the ability to care is not limited to sweet young things. But in your emotional life, caring from that kind is more important than caring from bears.
How are you defining sweet young things?
However you define them, I don't know.
My
It's
brain
a type.
My brain thinks of that as like my brain goes to twink, and that's not really.
Whatever the subgroup is for you.
Yeah.
It's just my, you know, whatever, however you label that, that's fine. But your subgroup, the subgroup that you're focused on, the caring from them feels different to your psychology than the caring from a bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And so it's important to look at that and see if you can unpack that a little bit. Now, if you want to go with what your psychology says, there's no problem with that. You just have to find the right fit. But if you know, it's really hard because the things that bring us comfort, most of us don't want to blow that out into multicultural land. We like our blankies.
Yeah.
You know, we like our Twix bars. We like our, you know, whatever it is. And we don't want to try to make that bigger. So I would, you know.
I mean, my most recent breakup, he had the most amount of almost like transference from my life. He was my mom and my dad and me. Like, oh my God, it was really intense. And there's a lot of home feeling, but it ended up being so unhealthy and just.
Yep. Most homes usually are.
Yeah.
It feels like home and it's not healthy. Usually.
Past couple nights, though. That's the only reason why I said.
So now, if you were paying me money, I would say, what kind of relationship do you want? Not the one that feels good, but if you're looking at doing a lot of work over the course of a year or two or whatever, what's the relationship that you're going to want in that place?
After the breakup, it was clear that I want someone who's equally committed to their own happiness and freedom and growth.
That's bullshit. It's a nice thing to say. It is. You could say, I want somebody who likes exploring.
Okay, fair. Who likes exploring, has that curiosity and humility there.
What was bullshit about that?
I think it's the fully committed part.
Yeah, commitment. All commitment really means is that the better offer hasn't come along.
You say the better offer hasn't come along. Oh.
You can play thought games with what would be the price, but if you're truthful, there's always I'll cure hunger if you leave this person. Cure hunger, really? And you see the evidence and they're right. You're like, sorry, Charlie. So it's always a price. And your partner can do something really heinous to where you're like, I love you forever. But what you did with those rabbits, no, I can't live with you anymore.
And so curiosity, freedom.
Everybody has that. Everybody has that.
Your own happiness.
Everybody has that one too. So you're not, you see, you're being the romantic instead of the pragmatist. Focus on somebody. So I think you're a romantic, okay? Let's pretend that in 5 years, Mr. Right is going to come along. So you have 5 years to practice with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, 7, I don't know, however many you want, to get yourself in shape so that when Mr. Right shows up, he'll recognize you as Mr. Right. Because right now, you're not Mr. Right. You know that, I know that. So if you're looking out there, you're looking out at your relationship now. You're like, okay, I'm going to spend a year getting in shape for my next relationship. I can have one night stands, whatever it is, whatever, but I need to get in shape. So you need to identify what are the things that keep tripping you up. Those childhood patterns,
I have that.
Okay. So you got your answer. You got 1 year in the gym. Get to work.
So is it so much that I work on the things that are barriers to love rather than looking for qualities that I'm?
Yeah, you look at the barriers. You're like you're already enlightened. You're just not having the experience. So you have to find out what the obstacles are. You're already love. It's just that when Leela does that thing, you're like, "Grah!" The love's still there. It's just that the anger is overriding it for a second. What do you want to build with your partner? What kind of life are you going to engage with your partner in building? It's not that you're going to find the perfect match and then everything will magically be better. As an adult, you want to concentrate that you're going to be building something with them. The reason to get into partnership with them is because with them, you can build something that you can't build with anybody else. Whether it's a school, whether it's frivolity, whether it's cosmic oneness, whatever you want.
What if it's like a simple domesticity?
There's no such thing as simple domesticity with you, Norman. Come on.
Sounds romantic.
I got a taste of that with the previous person, and I'm like, I don't want that.
Yeah, but what is that?
It's a lobotomy.
No, it's relaxation.
It's like I get to not be this and just be.
Yeah, it's relaxation that you don't have to be on stage anymore. Now, you can practice that wherever you want. Yeah. Wait a minute. You can practice not being on stage.
Oh, I see. I feel like I do the shadow version of that, which is the hiding, and I don't want it.
No, that's Clark Kent. We're not talking about Clark. I don't care about Clark. That's somebody you have to deal with. I don't want to ever deal with Clark. Okay? Your coping skill nightmare, if I have to, I will, but I would really rather not. He served you well, and it's time for him to retire. Bring him out if you have to.
Now I'm trying to understand, like, embodied wise, what not on stage feels like that doesn't feel like Clark Kent, because to me they are like the same.
You're trying to
cuddle
figure
with,
an embodied experience, but that might not work.
What was
go
that?
get cuddled by JJ.
Hmm.
Try to cuddle Alton.
I think it would be fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it would make him squirm.
Yeah. Yeah, but you see, that's like, again, you're going to have to find your own way into this. You'll still be eating big ice cream bars. You'll still be doing everything. You just won't be on stage. You won't be so focused on what's happening with them. It'll be more about what's happening with you. And there happen to be people around you.
So it's like just being.
No, you're not just blobbing out. You're actually engaged with people and you're doing whatever. It's just that if you're on stage, you're really clear that the reason you're on stage is to affect the crowd. That's your reason for being there. And when you're at home, it's like, and you're with your lover who's, done everything with you, your partner. You fart with each other, whatever. It's like there's nothing to make happen. There's nothing I need to make happen over there.
Layla gave me a exercise to imagine the presence of that person, that ideal person, and let that influence my nervous system and show up from that place.
Yeah, the difficulty is I think that you're going to imagine from your single-digit child place. I don't think you have the capacity to do that with somebody who is holding you as an adult. That's just my take on it. Layla is very clear about others. I'm more concerned about you, singulars.
So about building with people, like with a partner, we've reached these like clarity peaks of co-building and co-creating. And it feels like we reach these like anything is possible and really get magnetism going on in synchronicity. And then like Chris is 7 years younger than me. And there's this storyline like he's experiencing that he needs to catch up with where I'm at or something. But it's weird because with him it amplifies. So it's almost like the amplification happens and synchronicities happen, and then like he needs to go do his own process, and then like it feels like a constant abortion of realities. And so a part of me wants to just be like, okay, I just need to focus on my own thing. I need to just do me. And I'm learning how to just surrender and flow with it and enjoy the process. And not
I had a conversation with Sean King today. It's on his website. You have to, Leela, pay attention to what does the relationship want, not what you want, not what he wants. Look at the relationship. It's the other entity in the room. Now, it may want what you want, it may not. But when you say there are two of us and we've come together and there is a third, you can use that story to focus on something outside of yourself. It gives you an ability to step back from your fervent beliefs about whatever is.
Mm.
And Leela Rose's partner, you need to kick that I need to catch up in the ass. Because then you're never grounded in who you are. You're always trying to be the something different. You're going to change, you're going to grow, you're going to learn things. There's no catching up to her. What would you do if she says, "Oh my goodness, I need to go to a plastic surgeon so I can look 7 years younger"? I think you would probably turn her over your knee and spank the dog shit out of her. But yet she's looking at you and saying, "Oh yes, you should try to catch up with me." Oh, fuck that shit. There's no way that he's going to catch up to you. Zeno's paradox. Do you know that one?
No.
If you travel halfway across the room, then halfway across, then halfway across, when do you get to the other side of the room? Never. Because it's always half the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't ever catch up to her. Every time that you go a mile, she's already gone 15 more feet. Just be yourself. She's not, I mean, technically, this is a little bit of romance for you, Norman. She doesn't love the you that you're going to be. She loves the you that you are. Let that be okay.
Yeah.
Let it, God, why are you resisting this so much? She's not picking you because of who you're going to be. She's picking you because of who you are. Let that in.
Listen to him.
Jesus Christ. That's a stick up his ass. Jesus.
I don't know how well you can feel the stick over there.
I'm impressed that you can walk. Jesus Christ.
Is it a stick you can't pull out of someone else?
You don't want to do that because usually it's traumatic. He knows how it's wedged in there.
It hurts because that's the fundamental reason why me and my ex didn't work out. He was in that same place, always thinking he would need to catch up, and I'm like, I already
that's the problem with you, is that you're you do have your kinks, but you're a fine ass sword, man. I'm sorry about that. I mean, you worked really hard to polish yourself and to become that thing. You succeeded, and now you're like, well, why doesn't anybody want to play with me? It's like, you're NBA and they're high school. What the hell is your problem?
So am I supposed to set my sights lower?
Where's it going to find other NBA players?
Yeah, where are the others?
Go to the stadiums. Where the hell do you think they hang out? They don't hang out in their apartment eating big candy bars, that's for sure.
I mean, they're not on dating apps?
Where is it actually?
No, oh, for God's sake, seriously?
Stadiums about that. I'm interested for Norma. I'm interested for a lot of friends who are top tier in different domains, and it's like lonely at the top for them.
Norman, you have to go to where the qualities that you've honed, not the fascination with like RoboCops or something like that, Legos or whatever, but the other stuff. You have to find out where they are, and it works much better if you show up that you're not looking for a piece of ass. Okay? It works much better if you're somewhere where people are doing something. So, Leela?
Yeah.
Soccer cards. Okay? Yellow and red. You can get them on Amazon. Okay? Buy 2. You can ask Alton to explain this to you in more detail. The yellow one is, I think I'm going into reaction. We agree that when I show you the yellow card, it's a 5-minute timeout. We're not talking about it. I'm going to go to the other room, and in 5 minutes, I may come back. Right? The red card is, I think you're going into reaction, so I am leaving for 5 minutes. There's no discussion. You're using soccer cards because they're out of context. You're not arguing about anything. You're not explaining anything. This is just a one-time thing. You use it over and over. You keep them on your body at all times.
Ooh.
If you want to play it with more teeth, the red card is, I think you're going into reaction. You go to the timeout room for 5 minutes. But that's playing with fire. The standard way is that both the cards are about you. You're taking action based on your opinion about what's happening, and they can do whatever they want. And you can come back in and they go, what the fuck? And you're like, yellow card. Boom. It's a really tricky way to teach civility.
Awesome idea.
Yeah. It sounds fun and exciting.
It is. And when you do it in a group of people, it gets really crazy.
This is great. I have to wrap the thread on here to conclude the last class of Light Dark Institute. And I love that you guys are on here. Thank you, Cray, for your work.
Thank you, Cray.
Your practice.
Make sure, see if you can find the God flog.
They did not bring the flog out this particular.
Oh, Jesus. That is such a flog. It's such an amazing experience. Right now. Okay, goodbye.
Thanks, guys. All right.
Okay, thanks.
Good night.
See y'all.
Okay.